That was after 13 minutes, away at Old Trafford, who they've just won the last 4 there. Who would have predicted a 1-0 Everton win?
If not many people, if I'm being honest, but I think the way Everton conducted themselves and the game management of the game was very good. I thought first half especially, Barry, Grealish and I were excellent in keeping hold of the ball for them. Dewsbury Hall as well. And second half, the work rate of the whole team, you know, the United were pushing them back and probably forcing it a bit too much, and Michael Keane, Tarkowski were editing everything out, and O'Brien as well. So I think it played into Everton's hands a little bit, but the work rate and the effort he put in to make sure they got the win was excellent.
Do you know what I've often thought as well? When teams go down to 10 men, a lot of managers go and take off their maverick player, their sort of skillful player that might be able to do something. I think in this situation, a lot of situations, they're actually the best players to keep on. You know, someone like Jack Grealish, give him the ball. He never loses the ball. He wins free kicks. He gains ground. He takes the sting out the game. And Jai the same. You know, and I just think that David Moyes needs a good deal of credit there, because, as I say, lots of people, all right, 10 men, let's take off the striker, let's take off the wide man, let's put another midfielder in or another defender in. But no, he kept some of the players that, you know, because you cannot, I know they've defended for a lot of the game there, but you cannot just sit on the edge of the box. You've got to have some form of threat. And leaving players like Dewsbury Hall on and some of those creative players actually worked in their favour, because they're the ones that give you a bit of a breather. So I thought David Moyes deserved a lot of credit there. And of course, he brings 1 or 2 players off at the end, bit of fresh legs. I get that. But I thought he did really well to keep the influential ball carriers on the pitch.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think when you're seeing them going down with knocks and cramping and shows how much work they put in. But if you're just sat on the edge of your box, 9 times out of 10 you can see the goal. But the amount of free kicks Grealish won and Dye keeping hold of the ball, I think Moisey, maybe a few years ago, will have taken someone off, but he's just used all his experience there, I thought, tonight.
OK, let's go live to Old Trafford. Let's talk to James Tarkowski after we've heard from the United manager. Here he is, Ruben Amorim.
Ruben, what are your thoughts after that game?
I think they were the better team with 11 players or 10. And I felt since the first minute that we were not there with the same intensity. So they deserve the win.
What was missing from your team this evening, do you feel?
The way they would face the game, to understand that the other team help us with the sent-off. What we need to do in every single moment of the game, if they have 10, let's push the opponent to the final third, to be near any transition, to be focused, really to be focused in the game.
In the second half, you had plenty of the ball, you had plenty of chances, but couldn't put them away. Did you feel as though you just needed something to drop in the back of the net? But when you did have a good effort, Pickford was in fine form, wasn't he?
Yeah, that can happen. But I think they look for the luck, and they deserve it. We need to do more.
You've been in good nick up until tonight, 5 games unbeaten. So does this feel like it's a big step backwards?
Yes, especially in the way we play the game. Forget about the results. The results is also really bad, but I'm more concerned with the feeling that I had during the game.
What's the situation with Cunha? What was the injury? What's the problem with him?
Let's recover Cunha, and then we'll see if he'll be ready for the next game.
How pleased were you with the way that Josh Sturksey led the line this evening?
He did all right, but I think everyone should play better tonight.
Obviously, your frustration is clear to see. What kind of things have you said to your players at the end of the game then?
Nothing. We have training tomorrow. I will deal with that tomorrow.
Thanks for your time, Ruben. Thank you.
I think the game says enough. Against 10 men for 70 minutes, conceding a goal, not creating that many chances. Today was not a good night for us.
Why do you think you weren't able to take advantage of having the game against 10 men for such a long time in that match?
Yeah, it's always difficult. Obviously, against 10 men, they drop a little bit more. They have 4 guys of 2 meters in the back, so crosses is going to be difficult. I think we lacked the patience to play between the lines, to play on the floor. Instead, I think we crossed a lot of balls, but obviously they're really strong in that aspect. So, but still, then we have to do much more than this.
There's been a lot good about Manchester United in recent weeks. It's felt like you've been making real progress. Did tonight feel like a step back from that?
I think in all aspects today felt like a step back. Not only the result, the intensity, the focus. the way, yeah, I don't know, the way we were fighting for each other, suffering for each other. Yeah, today felt definitely like a step back compared to the last weeks.
Step back, and probably a step back most didn't see coming, particularly against 10 men at home.
No, there's been good vibes at Manchester United over the last, few weeks, and all the messages coming out there. Everyone's happy, and with the performances, with the results, and they were certainly favourites to win the game tonight. And then obviously Everton going to 10 men, you think they're just going to kick on and win the game comfortably. But I think, as the Litz just said there, they forced too many balls. They were crossing the ball at times when they didn't need to cross it. They stayed a bit more patient and pull Everton out of position. That was a big problem for them tonight, and I would like to see them change the system. I know Luke Shaw and Lenny Yoro were stepping in and trying to add an extra player in midfield, but when you're playing against and you've got one extra player, I think having a more creative player in a natural position, naturally in there, would have made the difference. So yeah, I think Ruben Amorim and the Manchester United players will be very disappointed with tonight's performance.
He's got a big smile on his face, understandably so. Good to see you, James. I mean, what an effort. What a result that is.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. It made it a bit difficult for ourselves, but some performance, showed bravery, determination, fighting spirit, and yeah, massive result that.
You did make it difficult for yourselves. What was your reading of the situation of the red card?
I didn't see it, I was walking away, to be honest. But then listening to Garner's just spoke after the game and apologised, and Garner's a very experienced player and very competitive and played at top level, and he's accepted that he's made mistakes. And he's made a mistake tonight, and Keano's accepted the apology. But we moved on from it quickly and played unbelievable, and so did Keano, to be fair, to deal with that and then crack on.
Yeah, absolutely, because a lot of other teams would have let that affect them, but almost galvanised you tonight.
Yeah, he did a little bit, yeah, he did. Also, the game plan changed a little bit. We didn't want to dominate the ball a bit more than that, but defended unbelievably. Jordan made 2 or 3 massive saves, but then still had a bit of time on the ball. The goal was a good bit of play, and then a great finish from Kiernan. And we had to try and get just a bit of time on the ball and a few spells just to kill the game a little bit, because otherwise we would have defended for the rest of the game.
James, it's Michael Owen. Well played tonight. I'm just wondering, when you go down to 10 men like that, and as a defender, does that actually almost focus your mind even more? Because you can't go out and play like you would have with 11 men, but you've almost focused your mind and then used your creative players sparingly. I thought it was a tactical, masterclass really from you guys.
Yeah, it probably makes the game plan simpler, really. We know we're going to have to defend and stay narrow, make the ball go wide, and I think me and Keano love defending our box, and we sort of thrive on that, so it made our job a bit easier. And then we knew we had to give the ball to our creative players still, find the midfield 4, hope that Barry or Beto held the ball up when it went into them, and I thought that everyone did a job tonight, and our creative players, when we needed them, created that chance to get the goal.
Hi James, Wayne Rooney. I just want to, on your creative players, on your Grealish, on your Njai, and Barry, who has had a lot of stick this season, I thought his hold-up play was excellent, and they were really important both when they got the ball, winning free kicks, but also the work rate he put in, getting back defensively, obviously to help you guys out.
Yeah, we needed them at both ends of the pitch. Some massive moments at the back post from Jack, and Illy was working the ball, and like he does, wriggles away from danger, winning fouls. And I thought Barry was excellent. The amount of headers he won, the amount of flick-ons he won, worked ever so hard and gave us a real outlet. And we needed every play. Even I thought even when the subs came on, to be fair, late on we're counter-attacking, getting the ball high up the pitch. And it just gives us that little bit of breather, so we weren't defending our box for the whole game.
And just finally, I mean, you've got back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets, and you've obviously defied history. You knew the club's record at Old Trafford. You've put that to bed now to move on and get a bit of consistency, momentum. What does it do for that?
Yeah, definitely. I think you see the league table, it's ever so tight up there, and we've just got to keep in contact with them and keep picking up points. We've got a real big run of games now, and then we can look forward to the weekend and hopefully keep picking up wins and stay right up near the top of the table.
Good to see you. Well done tonight. Thanks for speaking to us. Goals in Everton lead the 11 of Manchester United by 1-0 at half-time at Old Trafford, where they've won once in 32 league visits. And they're down to 10 men after an extraordinary incident, Wayne, just 13 minutes in. I mean, have you seen anything like this in your career, playing and managing?
On the training grounds, not on the pitch. But no, it's really out of character for Ghana Guy, because he's a really quiet lad, and so it's just a shame, because it's going to be very difficult to come to Old Trafford and win, and to get a player sent off for slapping your teammate is disappointing. David Moyes will be absolutely raging in that dressing room. Not with the performance, but with that.
It is extraordinary, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Gay obviously thinks Keane should be switched on to his little pass, but obviously Keane wasn't and isn't. And he runs over to him quite aggressively. I mean, he looks like he's the instigator in all of that. And Michael Keane sort of pushes him away, and then a slap comes in, and it's hard to argue, really. I mean, listen, it doesn't hurt Michael Keane in any way, but you just can't raise your hands. You can't slap people in the face. There's been, that's the rule, basically, and there is a clear slap in the face. So I don't think the referee's got much alternative there.
No. Here's the match centre with their explanation. The referee's call of red card to Gay for violent conduct was checked and confirmed by VAR, with the action deemed to be a clear strike to the face of Keane. I mean, that's a factual thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't argue with it. He's clearly hit him, so the referee's done his job. It is a red card, but it's just disappointing, to have... And of course, you can argue with your teammates and get a bit heated, but you shouldn't be striking your teammates in the face, and it could cost Everton. It hasn't up to now because they've been brilliant, but it could cost them come the end of the game.
It's just not a good look, is it? Whatever way.
It's not. I mean, listen, it shows they care. It shows that they're wanting to win. They get angry if something goes wrong, if the ball's given away in that case, and it's professional pride, and we all feel like that. But there's one thing in sort of, come on, you should be on my wavelength. You should have been ready for that. It's one thing doing that, and there's another one slapping somebody in the face. I mean, that's just going over the line. So, as I say, it's just hard to argue that anything other than a red card can be the right decision.
And we say it's extraordinary because we've been going through the archives in the Premier League era, and we can only find a couple of examples in all that time of this. I mean, the most famous one is the Newcastle one back in 2005.
I don't think there's any doubt this one. This was a full-on punching
Bowyer and Dyer.
Yeah, Bowyer, Dyer. That was both of them were going at it, and if they weren't separated, that would have developed into a full-on fight. However, we did go back into the archives and found one very similar, actually, to the one that we've just seen. This is Ricardo Fuller hitting Andy Griffin, playing for Stoke at Upton Park back in the day, and that was a clear slap in the face, and referee did the same thing. So there's consistency, despite it being, 17 years apart.
And as a manager, do you deal with that on another day? Not now, not at half-time, or do you think he'll have words about that now?
I'm sure he'll have a couple of words, but I think he'll be focused. David Moyes will be focused on the good play Everton have had in the first half, and they've defended really well, but they've looked the most dangerous team. When you get the ball, I think the front three, Ndiaye, Grealish and Barry. Barry, I think, has been excellent to hold the ball up, and Dewsbury Hall and Garner, coming up and backing it up. And Everton have looked really dangerous going forward, and potentially could have had another goal. So he'll be really pleased, and he'll just give them encouragement to.
What about the goal?
The same. It's a great goal. Great goal. If you look here, James Garner in really good position. Great pass through the line to Dewsbury Hall, being direct, positive with his run forward, and a good strike. I think the keeper can do better. He gets a full hand on it, should save it. But you look at the position here, he takes up. He's in between the midfield and the back line. Only thing I'd say is, can Yoro go closer, because Man United have got the extra centre back in there, but he doesn't, and then allows him to turn and get run at them, and a great finish. And Everton are winning, deservedly so.
Isn't that the whole point of having extra centre-halves, playing the back three? They've got more players there than Everton. To not go and confront Dewsbury Hall there is unforgivable, really. I mean, Yoro's got to go and press in. They've still got spare men, even if he does go and press in. They've got 2v1. I think he should go and press in there. It's a lovely finish, but I think Manchester United will be fuming with it.
I'd like to see Amaron make a change at half-time, take a centre-back off, and having the extra man, having that extra man midfield, which might stop Everton from getting the ball in midfield and getting control of it and allowing them to go forward.
OK, well, Ruben Amorim has some talking to do.